What a freaking terrible day in the stock market today, guys. It was one of those days. We got a lot to break down in this video. The market, stocks, charts, all that good stuff. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee. Do not forget to get your 10 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those stocks could be valued all the way up to $2,500. Those are linked down below. And you could also get 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited, also linked down below. And with that being said, and by the way, those links help out the channel, and I appreciate you guys as always. So with that being said, cheers. Let's dive into the video and go over how bad these markets were today. And we're also going to break down, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the whole 9 yards. So let's dive into it. The S&P closed down 1.1% today. The Dow, let's see here, down 0.5. So they didn't do that bad, but the Russell and the NASDAQ, they did bad. The NASDAQ went down 2.2%, Russell down 2.1%, and we had the VIX go up over 6% on the day. And you guys have heard my thoughts on the VIX. It seems like each time it's come down to the mid-20s over the past couple of weeks. The past couple of months, pretty much since the end of April. Each time it's come down to 25. It's only stayed there for a very short amount of time, and we've actually rallied back to the low mid-30s on the VIX. And I'm not saying that's going to happen again now that we're simply back to $25, but it's something to keep an eye on. That's all I'm saying. I'm putting it on your guys' radar. So you know my thoughts when it comes to SPY and Triple Q on these 4-hour time frames, right? We're still downtrending. We're getting rejected by the 180 SMA clearly and the highs from the end of June. And as of today's close, that still stands. And based on the intraday chart, let's pull this up, we ended up dumping heavily since my last video. If you guys remember, I filmed my last video at about 2 p.m. and look, literally, 2 p.m. is when the downfall started. Triple Q went from 292 almost to about 288, so this lost 1.3% roughly heading into the close. And what did we say before, guys, in my last video, which is why it's so important for you to subscribe and keep up with the content. We talked about how we got rejected, or we were getting rejected at the support from the pre-market on Triple Q being 292. And look at, again, where we ended up going in the last hour and a half, 2 hours. We ended up dumping into the close. And SPY did the same thing on a smaller scale, but it did do the same thing. We got rejected at the pre-market high at about 386, 387, and we ended up going down to about 383.50 right at the close, which was a drop of about 0.8, 0.9% here on SPY. And it's not looking good, guys. If I pull back the 4-hour chart, we're now awfully close. Well, not awfully close, but we're getting pretty close now to the lows from earlier this month, being 373 on SPY, and in the middle of June being 362. And when it comes to Triple Q, we hit about, let's see here, 269 in the middle of June. And in the beginning of this month of July, we hit 277. So we're getting close to those lows again, especially if we start making a move under, let's say, 280 on SPY, or 280 on Triple Q, rather. And for SPY, I'd say right around, let's say if it breaks 375, there'd be a lot more downside from that point, in my opinion. Now, let's dive into crypto very quickly. This is on Webull, the platform that we're about to use here. And I use this for charting crypto. Now, does it mean you have to? No, but I'm just saying this is what I use, and if you want 6 stocks from Webull, again, those are linked right down below. Free money, guys, with any amount deposited. This is what BTC is chilling at right now, right around $20,500. And currently it's down 1.6% on the day, but if you take a look here, this thing is down way more, considering just a couple of days ago on the 7th, I believe, or maybe the 8th, actually no, it was the 7th of this month, 4 days ago, this was at 22,000, almost $500. So it's not that crazy of a drop, considering BTC, Ethereum, these move like it's a freaking roller coaster ride at Six Flags, but it's a decent drop. It's a decent drop, about 10%, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more, or probably a little bit less, right? About a 10% drop, 8%, 9% in the past couple of days. And we can see here, if I pull up the longer time frames on Bitcoin, look at that. Did we not say there was going to be a big resistance right around 22, 22.5, 21.5? That's where we got to a couple of days ago. and we got rejected. Now we're holding on by a thread above 20,000, and I think if BTC breaks 20,000 this go around, 18.5's next, 17.5. I think those levels could be tested, especially if the stock market ends up falling. And if you guys notice here, I'm not sure if you were paying attention to this, but I think literally when the futures opened yesterday, Bitcoin collapsed. Let me see if I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. Did that not happen? Yeah, I was watching it. At 6 p.m. on Sunday night, you guys know on the East Coast, the futures market opens, right? And let's see here. Where were we at about? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure BTC and Ethereum, both of these dumped off when the futures market opened, because the futures market for the stock market, it was moving down in the early hours of the session. Of course, overnight it got ugly, and that led into Bitcoin, Ethereum dropping. I mean, we all know this at this point. These are very correlated. Triple Q and Bitcoin, Ethereum, these are pretty correlated, right? So Ethereum right now is at 1130. It's down 2.5% on the day, and I'm noticing this is also down a good chunk from where it was just a couple of days ago on the 7th of this month. It was at 1275. Now it's at 1130. It's down probably 8, 9, 10%, give or take a little bit here and there, right? So these charts are not looking good. And on the longer term, we can see clearly Ethereum, like I mentioned, I've said this before, 1250, 1275, 13, that's going to be a resistance point. We hit that again, and boom, now we're down from that point, and we're right around 1130. And I think if Ethereum breaks under 1100, 1050, especially under 1,000, watch out below from that point. So with that being said, guys, let's dive back to ThinkOrSwim. And yes, we're doing a lot of back and forth here. If you guys are finding value in this video, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps me out overall in the YouTube algorithm. Let's talk about some stocks, because at the end of the day, I'm sure you guys know this, but if you didn't know, maybe you're new to the channel, I'm not a crypto channel. I am not a crypto channel. In fact, I just started covering the charts of Bitcoin and Ethereum probably a couple of weeks ago, because you guys, I know a lot of you guys want to see it. And at the end of the day, I'm making content for you guys. And if you want to see something, I'm going to do it on the videos. And just for you new viewers out there, I'm not a crypto channel, right? A couple weeks ago, I barely ever talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I don't plan on doing much content on it now, but maybe a little 2-minute clip each day just to cover the charts. I mean, that's all we're going to do. And we mostly talk about stocks, the markets in general, the economy, earnings, all that good stuff, what I'm doing, my thoughts. So let's just dive into that now. We're going to talk about AT&T's chart here, which looks pretty good. And it looks like, actually, wait a second. Did they just give their dividend out? Yeah, 3 days ago, they paid a 27-cent dividend. Pretty solid there. And I think their yield, their percentage yield is still... or their yield rather, not percentage yield, their dividend yield is, I think it's still about 5%, something like that. So that's a nice incentive to own AT&T. Now, do I own it? No. But as a trade, I would definitely consider it here because, if certain things line up, I would consider it. Because currently, we are holding an uptrend. That's for sure. We've been making higher lows since the beginning, early days of March. And you guys can see here, we do have a double top as well. Ever since the end of May, we got rejected at about 21.50. And just recently, last week, we got hit at $21.50 as well. Now we're at about $20.60. So if we get buying pressure, this needs to line up. If we get buying pressure towards $21.50 and we break out of there, and mind you, we have an ascending triangle here. You guys can see that very clearly. If we start moving out of $21.50 on this stock, guys, this is going to be a breakout candidate, in my opinion. Now, will it go up 15% in a day like AMC, GameStop? Heck no. There's no chance, in my opinion. It could happen. Never say never, but highly unlikely. But could it go over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months from $21.50 towards the mid-20s? Absolutely. And they report earnings here, it looks like, not this week, but it looks like the next week on the 21st of July. They report earnings. So that's going to be very interesting. And who knows, maybe that could be the catalyst that does send AT&T higher from here. So that is a big reason why I'm watching it. Earnings, and again, the ascending triangle potential breakout right around the corner. And when it comes to the next stock, I don't think I've ever talked about this one, but I was looking through screeners, stocks that were moving today. Molson Coors Beverage Company is up 1%, or rather it went up 1% on the day, closed at $56, and this is also an ascending triangle. We've had clear resistance at 57-ish, 56.50 over the past couple of months since the beginning of April, and you guys can clearly see we're pretty much there again. We're testing 56.7, and we have an ascending triangle above the moving averages as well. We're about to get a golden cross by the looks of it. So if TAP could break out of 57, and especially the highs from the end of June being about 57.75, this could seriously start making a move to the upside. So for now, I'm going to set my alert at $58, set it and forget it, and once that alert hits, if it hits, hey, we might be breaking out. And I'm not sure what the all-time high is on this stock. Wow, $112, which was hit back, where was that? 2016? Holy crap, guys. And back in 2008, this stock was at where it is now, 56, 58. So that makes this point here an even bigger resistance. And this chart is giving me a different perspective. This is huge here. Look at this. If we fail where we are now, what is this going to be, guys? This is going to be potentially here a head and shoulders. Look, if we fail at $58, the right shoulder might take us down towards 40, 45, 30, 35. That's what I'm seeing here. But if we get buying pressure past 58 into the 60s, there could be more upside on ticker symbol TAP. So I like this one. I haven't covered it on the channel, I don't think. Or if I did, it was years ago. I don't really remember. But TAP is one that I'm watching for sure. Alert at $58. This is another one here. KHC, Kraft Heinz. Let's pull it up. This is one that I'm seeing here. Inverse head and shoulders. Golden cross potentially right around the corner. We have the 50 getting awfully close to that 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart. Now, if we do break up above 39, 40, you guys can see that right here. That was the high from the end of May, roughly. If we start breaking out of that point above the moving averages as well until let's say the $40 range, there could be more upside. The right shoulder and the inverse head and shoulders, it could start getting us towards that mid-40 level. So for now, I'm going to put my alert. Let's see here. Mark is at or above $40 a share. And let me get a little sip of water, guys. My throat's getting a little dry here. And that's the crappy thing about not editing videos. It saves a lot of time not editing videos, but your voice gets dry, and you gotta take little water breaks because you're nonstop talking. As you guys can clearly tell, my videos aren't necessarily short. They're not like a 5-minute video. We're more in the 15 to 20-minute range here. So KHC, you guys got to also watch excuse me, Visa, ticker symbol V. This is one that is looking pretty interesting here. We have clearly, I have a lot of alerts set, a lot of lines, so this may look a little bit too much for some people. I don't know, but we have a descending triangle here. We've had clear support at around $190 over the past couple of months. And during the past couple of months, as again, we've had support at 190, we've been making lower highs as well. We hit 230, 225, 219, 215, 205 is where we are right now, and this closed up 0.75% of a percent in the green today, which is good. So if we get rejected here at 205, there could be more downside. There could be a push towards that support level again at about 190, 195, but I have my alert at 210 here. If we get buying pressure out of 210, hey, that could be a breakout. 220 could be right around the corner, followed by 225, maybe even higher from there. We also have IBM. Let's pull that up, guys. IBM, we have a wedge here, and this also had a green day, 0.4% green day for IBM. We have a wedge here. Lower highs and higher lows have been made, and we also have a golden cross here. We've had one for a couple of months by the looks of it. So if we get out of, let's say, 142.50 on IBM, there could be a breakout coming on this. And you guys have noticed a lot of the Dow stocks held up decently today, considering the Dow only went down 0.5%. Some of them even went green. You know, we've had, we're keeping an eye on UNH here, which went down a little bit on the day, but they report earnings, I believe, on Friday. Let me double check. Yeah, I think that's on Friday. So that's what I'm watching. We had DWAC. Did you guys see DWAC today? We all know Elon, Twitter, he's trying to get out of that deal. It's not just going to be very simple like, oh, I'm going to get out of it and it's over. There's going to be litigation. It's going to take a long time, months on months on months, most likely. So, yeah, now that Twitter is not going to be probably owned by Elon Musk, or if it is, it's going to be at a much, much cheaper price. But Elon probably doesn't want it anymore. You know, that makes Twitter not so appealing anymore. So what is appealing now? Trump's new social media, right? Which is what DWAC is, it's the SPAC for that. So this went up on the day, 20%. It only makes sense, right, guys? This is not rocket science at the end of the day, because now it's, it could be superior to Twitter in some people's eyes. I don't friggin' know. But hey, it went up. A lot of this came in the pre-market. It actually was up over $32, almost $33 a share in the pre-market, it looks like. Or that was actually on Friday, rather. No, this move came on Friday, and we sold down in the pre-market today, followed by a bounce back in the intraday, more towards, the latter half of the day. So there could be a lot more upside in DWAC in the short term. Now, let's say if Elon actually go ahead and buys Twitter, right? Okay, DWAC, they're probably going to get hit again. Let's be honest here. But I'm telling you, if Elon backs out, I think DWAC, it's going to do well in the short term. Who knows? Maybe long term as well. I don't know. I'm not buying it long term, but it could work out. Who really knows? And for now, I'm going to set my alert at 35, right by the 180 SMA here. If that breaks, okay, I'll consider it. But for now, I'm not looking to buy on a 20% green day while we're still in a technical downtrend, right? So keep that in mind on DWAC. And the last one for today, guys, which is one that I want to buy more of, and I'm being very patient, it's Meta Platforms. It went down 4.7% on the day, and it looks like it's hovering right above $160, holding on by a thread. If this breaks into the 150s, I'm going to have to buy more. And you guys might be like, oh, Stas, all you talk about, well, it's not like all I talk about is Meta, but I've gotten some comments like, why do you like Meta so much? Is that the only stock you're buying or whatever? I'm like, no, guys, but listen, I like this stock because it's kind of a valuation play. And a lot of people confuse growth and value. Growth, it could also be value at the end of the day. And I'm not saying Meta is a crazy growth company. The growth is behind it. Let's be honest here. But it's still growing at a respectable rate, and you're paying a very cheap price for it. It's a stock that I want to own. At the end of the day, I ask myself this. Do I think Meta is going to be around in 5-10 years? Yes. Do I think it's going to be bigger? Yes. Do I think they're going to make more profits? Yes. Do I think they're going to be able to monetize their users more over the next couple of years? Yes, that's one of the main things that I'm looking at here, because listen, we know we're not getting user growth on Meta, Facebook, whatever, the different platforms, but you have to ask yourself, the users that use these platforms, are they the revenue they make for Meta, right? Is that maximized yet? I don't think so. I really don't. I think the revenue per user, it still has a decent runway to go. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's one of the things I'm banking on here with my investment and why I'm buying it at these levels. And I want to buy more of it if it gets into the 140s, which it might not happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm cool with that. I don't care. But if it does, I'm going to be buying more Meta. That's just the cold hard truth here from your boy Stas. So with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Join my Patreon if you want to work more one-on-one with me, get exclusive content, all that good stuff. That's linked down below, or you can go to StasSurfS.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your 10 stocks from Moomoo and your 6 stocks from Webull, and join Seeking Alpha Premium. All those are linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. I'm about to head to the gym. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.